When a woman truly realizes that she's lost a man who once made her feel seen, valued, and emotionally safe, something deep within her shifts. At first, she might not show it. She may appear composed, calm, even indifferent. But inside, her mind becomes a battlefield of emotions she doesn't fully understand. At the beginning, there's denial, the mind's way of protecting her from sudden emotional pain. She might tell herself, "He'll come back. It's just a phase." This denial helps her cope with the shock, but it also keeps her emotionally stuck between hope and heartbreak. Then, something interesting happens. Overcompensation. She might suddenly start acting like she's never been better. You'll see her posting more pictures, smiling wider, hanging out with friends more often, and pretending everything is perfect. Psychologists call this reaction formation, a behavior opposite to her true feelings. Deep down, she's hurting, but she uses happiness as a mask to hide emotional chaos. Soon after, when the silence becomes real, reflection begins. She replays conversations, texts, and small moments in her head, trying to find where it all went wrong. During this stage, self-blame often appears. She questions her actions, her words, and even her worth. The emotional mind becomes a courtroom where her heart is both the judge and the accused. When a woman realizes she has lost someone who once mattered deeply, her mind enters a powerful and confusing emotional storm. The first stage of that experience is what psychologists call emotional shock and denial, and it's one of the most misunderstood yet revealing parts of female psychology. This is not just sadness. It's a psychological defense mechanism that helps her brain protect itself from emotional overload. Women by nature are emotionally intuitive and sensitive to connection. They invest time, care, and emotional energy into a relationship, often without realizing how deep their attachment has become. So, when that bond is suddenly broken, her nervous system reacts as if she has lost a part of herself. The human brain doesn't distinguish between physical and emotional pain. It processes both in similar neural pathways. That's why the loss of a loved one can literally hurt. In those first few days or weeks, she feels numb. Her body may function normally, but mentally, she's detached, confused, and emotionally frozen. She might tell herself everything is fine. She might even say to her friends, "I'm over it," or "It's his loss." But deep inside, her subconscious mind refuses to accept the new reality. Denial works like an emotional bandage. It shields her from the immediate pain of heartbreak. She scrolls through old messages or replays old memories in her head, trying to find comfort in moments that no longer exist. This is not weakness. It's her brain trying to restore balance. When women go through emotional denial, their mind is essentially trying to rewrite the story in a way that still makes sense. It whispers, "He will text again," or "He didn't mean it," because accepting the truth, that it's over, feels too unbearable. During this phase, her emotional behavior may seem unpredictable. One day she seems fine, even cheerful. The next, she's silent, distant, and lost in thought. She might distract herself by working harder, changing her appearance, or surrounding herself with friends. Outwardly, she's active. Inwardly, she's in emotional chaos. Denial doesn't mean she doesn't know what's happening. It means she can't yet emotionally digest it. A woman's emotional memory is extremely powerful. She doesn't easily forget how she felt around someone. When she has shared deep experiences, her brain associates those feelings with safety and belonging. Losing that connection leaves her with a kind of emotional withdrawal similar to detoxing from an addiction. In the psychology of attachment, when a person you trust suddenly disappears from your emotional world, your body releases stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, that make your heart race, your stomach tighten, and your sleep restless. That's why during this stage, women might experience sleepless nights, appetite loss, or even bursts of irritation. But instead of expressing the pain directly, denial transforms it into emotional numbness. It's not that she doesn't feel. She feels too much. Denial becomes a way to survive the emotional flood. She'll say, "I'm fine," because saying "I'm broken" would make it too real. Psychologically, this stage also reveals something powerful about female emotional strength. Even while in denial, her mind begins to slowly analyze what happened. She replays conversations, tone of voice, facial expressions, every detail, looking for meaning. This analytical process gives her brain a sense of control when everything else feels uncertain. Her denial may seem like avoidance, but it's actually preparation. The mind needs time to gather emotional strength before facing pain head-on. Denial is the emotional pause button that allows healing to start in the background. Another aspect of this phase is pride. When she realizes she's lost someone important, her ego and emotions start to conflict. Part of her wants to reach out, but another part says, "No, don't do it." So she suppresses that urge by acting like she's unaffected. You may see her posting confident quotes, new pictures, or trying new hobbies. But underneath that confidence, denial still whispers, "Maybe he'll see this and remember what we had." Her behavior becomes a silent conversation with herself, trying to prove that she still matters. What most people don't understand is that denial can actually look like indifference. She might stop calling, stop asking, or even act like she's moved on. But emotionally, she hasn't. Her silence is not peace, it's protection. She's learning how to exist without the emotional comfort she once had. Denial helps her maintain dignity while she rebuilds emotional stability. It's her way of holding herself together until she can safely face the truth. Over time, cracks begin to appear in the wall of denial. Late at night, when the distractions fade, she starts to feel the real weight of the loss. The denial slowly dissolves into quiet acceptance. Tears might come easily now, or memories might hit harder than before. This is a healthy sign. It means the emotional brain is finally allowing itself to process reality. She no longer says, "He'll come back." Instead, she begins to whisper, "Maybe this was meant to teach me something." That shift is the beginning of healing. So when you see a woman act indifferent after losing someone important, don't mistake her calmness for coldness. She's not heartless. She's in emotional shock. Denial is not the absence of feeling. It's the overflow of it. Every smile she forces, every "I'm fine" she says, is part of her emotional survival strategy. She's teaching herself to breathe again in a world that suddenly feels emptier. But beneath that denial lies a heart that once cared deeply and is slowly learning how to care again without falling apart.